Hello, everybody. My name is Emily Savalos. Thank you so much for being here and listening in on my presentation. I'm a student here at CCA studying industrial design. This semester and theme for our topic and project will be music. I decided to branch out a little bit and focus on music and dance, specifically Latin dance. The story behind this decision goes back to my disconnection with my Ecuadorian culture and being one of the only members in my family without the real ability to just feel the music and dance. Before orienting into a specific concept, I decided to do some market research and see what's already out there and whether there's room for more improvement or even something new. All the products in some ways that were used for dance, singing, or music in an interactive way, I came across that there was a lot of opportunities in motion sensing and projection. Prior to getting that user input and observation that's so important, I decided to do a self-journey map of myself experiencing one of these guided dance products. I mapped out my experience and process from start to finish using the Nintendo Wii Just Dance console. I used a remote and follow along to the dance steps on the screen, and it'll tell me if I'm doing it right or wrong, or if I'm following, how good I'm following along. I rolled out specific pain points that I encountered to help me to get a more in-depth understanding when getting that user input. I reached out to a variety of people from different ages and experiences in the dance world, and even though each scenario was so different, I got very similar feedback overall, based on what they needed and what factors were important when teaching or learning dance. Summarizing everything up, I ended up with these three categories of importance: comfort, regarding how their body and environment interacted with their experience; flexibility, in the relationship between the user's needs and the fluid and effortless communication with their product or experience; and ergonomics, again, relating to that ease of interaction and feeling of comfort in their space. My focus was on Latin dance, which can be very broad. Here, let me tell you a little bit about it. For this reason, I decided to focus on three categories of Latin dance. The reason I chose these three, which were salsa, bachata, and cumbia, was because of their easy and standard basic footwork that is paired with fluid and imitative body movement. All these specifications, I believe, made for great characteristics that can be taught independently. These three dances all consisted of an 8-count repetitive footwork. I started to visualize this idea of the footwork projected onto the floor so the user could follow along and memorize the steps. After the basic steps become muscle memory, then the user can move on into the body movement and rhythmic flow that can be demonstrated with an imitative wall projection of a dancer or even just the silhouette. And summarizing what I have concluded for my concepts, the who, what, when, and why, I will focus on the age group between 5 and 18 because I think this is the perfect age to start learning anything new. And teaching Latin dance, specifically bachata, cumbia, salsa, and the basic steps is our why. And I want my product to have a little more flexibility than most consoles. So there's the where. I want it to be a little bit more flexible on where this is going to be placed and located, but definitely inside the home by carefully designing specific characteristics. The why, again, I was removed from my Spanish culture, which resulted in my lack of dance skills. A product of this, like this, would have really given me an opportunity to reconnect with my culture and shape in my confidence on the dance floor. Now, touching back to technology specification, I want to utilize interactive projection, as I will be aiming to teach through imitative movement and step-by-step instruction. As I continue this design process, I will make sure to connect features of customization, as the user can have the control to adjust speed, volume, brightness, and other needs. I will also like to explore how this projection technology has sustainable benefits, as we are using compact products to create a spacious experience. And this is what I kind of envision The combination of the floor and wall projection to create a wholesome learning environment and a unique way to teach dance in the comfort of one's home. And now just moving on to form exploration, it may be a little too soon, but I really wanted to get inspiration of what my product could end up looking like. I used clay sculptures and sculpted out some figures that I believe communicated comfort, flexibility, and ergonomics. I believe comfort and ergonomics go hand in hand. If you think about it, products could look very intimidating and sometimes pushing away the users from trying it or play around with it. Definitely something I don't want in my design. So here are some ideas that I had for that concept. And then moving to this idea of flexibility, how form can work with the user so they can comfortably adjust or move it around based on how the product would work best in their spatial environment. Okay, and then this kind of goes hand in hand with the concept of comfort and the idea of it's a charger and not a leash. By this, I mean that all my users talked similarly, that they dealt with the situation of having to charge their products and how that was a major pain point for them because they didn't know how to adapt it. They had to adapt to their space, so they accommodated for charging. How I can fix this problem, besides having an extended battery life, is that I could have the cord wrap maybe around itself or maybe have it detached from the actual product with Bluetooth or wireless charging. Thank you so much. This is what I have so far. I appreciate you joining in my design journey and listening to my story. I look forward to hearing everyone's feedback as I move forward to my next steps. Thank you.